ATA for not letting my sister move in with us if she not vaccinated for COVID. Okay, let me preface with I am a firm believer in people have the right to bodily autonomy and they should be able to do whatever they want. Onto the situation. My sister B, 22F, and my mom are being evicted due to the fact my mom lost her Section 8 housing. Mom literally didn't feel like turning in a form. Mom sucks in this situation and all situations. Mom also can't hold down a job, so is unable to pay rent. But B did what she could and paid about the rent each month, however that is not how paying rent works. And the inevitable happened. I am 29F, and my partner, 27M, love my sister dearly. And as soon as she asked to stay here we accepted. Our only condition was that she pay $100 in rent and help out with groceries. We set a day 6 weeks away, for when we could come get B and help her move. It's about 6 to 8 hours away from us and she doesn't have a license. But this is where the issue started. My sister has 2 cats. I thought it was just one, and my husband was no on the cats. After a lot of arguing we agreed to take her and her cats. Husband had never really had an animal companion to help him through rough times, so he doesn't understand, not want to leave them behind. When we accepted we were under the impression that B had a job and was working. Turns out she hasn't worked for months. B got hurt on the job and never filled out the paperwork for workman's comp or went to the doctor for a light duty note. Nor had she gone to her union rep. She works at a grocery store to figure out what her position is. Once I found this out I was like, okay, if you don't have this figured out by the time we come to get you I'm not moving you up here. B assured me it would be. She had 6 weeks before we were coming. And she ghosted me for 4 of those weeks. Until B's father called me, he's not in the picture and never really has been, to tell me to cut her some slack, she was going through a rough time. And I was like fine, okay. So I stopped asking about the job. On the eve of the big move my husband tested positive for COVID. I also then tested positive. A sucky place to be in, but I gave B a call and told what was up and that we would hire movers if we had to. B was totally understanding and was happy for a bit of extra time to pack. But as we were on the phone with her she said something that made my husband ask, "You are vaccinated for COVID, right?" And B says, "I have never been vaccinated for anything in my life, Mom's anti-vax." At that point I said, "If you aren't vaccinated for COVID then you can't stay here." And she started in that it was her body and her choice and how could we drop this on her the day we supposed to get her. And then she broke and started to cry. And hung up. We are not her only option, but all of her other options required her to give up her cats, and she would rather be homeless than give up the cats. Later in the day I sent her a text. "We love you very much. We don't hate you. And you can very much stay here. But you have to the vaccine if you want to live here. I don't want to be uncomfortable in my own home. We are not asking for literally anything else from you. Catching COVID affects our ability to work and provide a place for you stay. We don't get paid time off for catching COVID anymore. So we basically have to sit at home for 5 days without pay. We simply cannot afford to do that. I am not trying to take away your bodily autonomy, but you are putting our health at risk. And that is not something I will to compromise on. You will always have a safe place here for you and cats, but only if you get the COVID vaccine." And that basically is where I left things.